me just get this video started. And muted. Okay, great. Great, guys. So welcome to the call. Just got 9:30, so a lot of what's happening at the market open. I always start with the screen, just telling people what the DTB system is. And it's a good slide to start off the presentation. So have a look to the website for more information. The YouTube videos and stuff need to be updated again with all the little changes and updates I've made the last couple of days, and some very exciting new tools coming in too. So it's a continuous catch up for me, unfortunately. All right, so risk disclosures for futures trading. There'll be a link in the video as well. Okay, great. So let me pop up the VPS and just see if there's any action yet. Okay, so no action yet. So we've been doing quite a few different optimizations with different bar sizes and different things that we've been doing. Let me just stop my video. And, you know, sometimes we've been doing the smaller bar sizes. So we've been doing the 8-8 bar size, you know, an 8-16 or 16-16 bar size. But ideally, we don't really want to enter too many trades. The idea behind this automated thing is to trade for a specific amount of time. So we've got this optimization running from 9 a.m. to 10:55 a.m. So it's basically 2 hours a day during the week. And, you know, that's what this optimization is running. So now you can go and run different bar sizes. And obviously during those sessions, during those days, you're going to have a lot more trades happening. So on average, if I look at the specific optimization that I've done, this is a 32 bar size. Okay. So it's 32 ticks, and 32 ticks is the bar size. And we have got optimization run from the 22nd of August to the 2nd of October. So looking at that onto a chart, it's basically an entire month plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, basically. I've kept it as the 22nd. So the last week we actually used the 22nd as well. I've just kept it that way. I haven't run the following week. I'm trying to keep it at least a month's worth of data. So because today is the 27th of September, I've still kept it from the beginning of the 22nd. So perhaps during next week, you know, maybe the 29th, 30th, if I look at September, if I go to next week, which will be like the 3rd, 4th of October, then I would probably go and switch this to the 29th. So just keep it like at least a month's worth of data to have, just analyzing. And remember, we're only analyzing a very specific time of the day as well. So we're finding the very best settings for a time slot between 9 a.m. and 10:55 a.m. And running that optimization, which you all have templates for, because I put it into the Skype shared folders, these are the results that came up. So over the last month, if we look at the analysis for this, and we look at the daily analysis, where do we look at? Accumulative, there we go. So that just shows, you know, the price. So a lot of the time, you're only going to have a few trades a day, and that's only it's between that session between 9 and 11. So a lot of time you might only have 1 or 2 trades, but that is fine. You don't necessarily want to have 10 trades during a session. And if there are lots of trades, you know, you're hoping you still come out above. But generally during that session, you can see that it's pretty consistent over the over the month that it's happened. Now, some days there are going to be lower values, but remember, we are specifically targeting that very little part of data. So looking at a chart example, the strategy is going to be working between a specific session, like over there. So that's 9:30. So it took one trade, it took another trade, and then basically the time came to 11 o'clock and it exited that position. So that could very well happen quite frequently with a setting like this. And the good thing about this type of setting is you can set it up long before the 9:30 a.m. starts. You don't have to sit at the computer and watch the strategy running. You can set it up, the morning, the day, the day after your session. So at 12, say for example, at 12 p.m. or 11 a.m. or, just after 11 a.m. of the trading day, you can set up your optimization for the next trading day and let it run itself for the next day. So this is like setting it up to run on its own for a specific period of time. And the good thing is it will only trade within that period of time if you have that template set up. So that is what, is a very good idea to do for some people who just want to have that type of a setup where you've got a few trades running. Like there, we had a few more trades running during this specific session, and it was probably like what was that, 21st of the 9th. That might be a very busy news day, as an example. So that was a Tuesday. So some days you're going to have more signals than others, and other days you may not have any signals. You may have a situation where a day goes by and there's no signal, or you might even just have one signal for that day. Well, that's perfect too. So that's the optimization I have done. And looking at the chart right now, this is what the chart looks like with that setting that I saved. So as soon as you run your optimization, as you know, you go and save it as a template. So go template, save, and then I called it 27th of September, and I've called it trading chart. So I saved it as that, as we've done on all these calls. And then we've gone up to the trading chart and we have activated the strategy on there. So we went over here into the strategies and we loaded it up and basically went to the template and applied the strategy to the chart and activated. So I did that earlier before 9 a.m. Now notice that this is the brick wall that the strategy produced. So according to the signal, this is basically the last, well, the signal, there's no sell position yet because the price started, the price started under this brick wall over here at this price, more or less. It started at about over here at 9 o'clock. So since 9 o'clock, there hasn't been a signal yet. So what's happened is the price came back up, retested this previous brick wall and bounced off. So, this is why if you are watching the chart, you can go and take manual positions off brick walls like this, because they are more accurate than just loading any setting, because you've optimized this, over a long period of time and you're getting the best data from it. And remember, each of these bars is 32 ticks. So there's a lot of movement in the price that you can enter. The only thing is the strategy is only designed to take a few positions a day. But if this price had, for example, gone up and closed above this brick wall, it would have entered a long position. And then if it came and closed below the brick wall again, which is what it would have done, we would have now been in a sell position. So the bar just needed to go up one more, basically one more. Where's my thing on the side here? So the bar just needed to go one more up, basically. And then we would have been in a long, and then again, it would have switched over to a short over here, actually one bar below, and then we would currently be in a short position. So that didn't happen today, but right now, so that would have been like in a 283 tick. So those are the kind of moves that this strategy does. You may have a few little switch around the brick walls. This one here basically stayed below that brick wall this entire session so far. Now, we don't know what's going to happen at the bottom. There might be a reversal of price here in which the strategy will enter a long position or a short position, depending on what signal comes up. Okay, so what we can do is while this is running and not doing too much, we can go and do other optimizations to see if we can get settings that are running that will enter more trades within the session. And it might be a smaller bar size. So this is why it's good to have a few people on a call like this. It's running like a trading room. And my main goal with this business and with this type of thing that we're doing is to have, you know, permanent staff running out of a trading room where they are working with a whole lot of people and they're running a whole lot of different optimizations and bar sizes all at the same time. And there can be communication between members, and, you know, different bar sizes could be used, different settings can be analyzed. So this is how this could actually progress going forward. So right now, obviously, I'm doing all the optimization, and I literally only started with this at 20 to 9 a.m. this morning. That's the first I got to even start doing optimization. So I haven't even had the opportunity to go and really try all different variants of sizes. So I stuck with something that we've been using for the last week or the last couple of weeks. So we can go and look at that. Now, we've also got lots of Fibonacci levels loaded up on this chart. So those can also be reduced if you want to go into your settings and reduce some of those. Or you can be looking at, different bar sizes and look at your signal chart. So you can look at what signals you're getting from indicators that can give you opportunities to enter positions. So I'm just going to remove this indicator, this news indicator, and I'll monitor my control panel and see if there's any entries on that strategy. But for the guys that are on the call now, have you guys done any different optimizations to what I have done?
I'm running a smaller bar size, 12, 12, 14, 14, 16, 16.
Okay, and how's that been going?
Generally, the high ones, like the 14, 14, 16, 16 is taking less trades and a higher percentage profitability and a less drawdown.
Okay, good. And have there been any sessions so far today? And when did you actually start your positions?
I'm still running the optimizations at the minute, Jason. I've just literally written them all down. I'm going from 6.6 all the way up to 22.22.
Got you. Okay, cool. So you're at that stage. All right, perfect.
So when you're doing that, is that Paul that's talking?
No, it's Stu.
Stuart, I think. Yeah.
So you just go in. The only thing you're doing differently is you change the ticks to baseline and the baseline width, and then you run the optimization again. Is that the only thing you're doing differently? That's
correct. And I start, as I say, 8.8, and I go all the way up to 22.22. Looking at the number of trades, percentage profitability, and obviously for me, the big ones are like the less of the drawdown. Obviously with small accounts, it's a bit better and it's a bit easier. And then I'm selling them away, and then 20 minutes later, running them again and going through them all and seeing what's changed.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Stu. I'm doing 16.16 right now, and now I'm going to do something else. I'll keep it going.
14.14 seems to be working actually the best for me in the last week or two. 14.14 seems to have personally for me, the lowest drawdown, and trades to percentage profitability seems to be better.
Okay, good. Thanks for that. So looking at the shadow trading indicator, if you guys watched the call earlier today, there were some updates noted on the shadow trading indicator. So I'll just go through them now while I'm waiting for my own strategy to enter positions, but I'll just go through the shadow trading indicator because this is a very powerful tool that is going to help you with your entry. So there's a few settings on there, and one of them notably is the support and resistance line. So if I go template, reset, apply, and okay, that's going to give me the support and resistance line for the indicator. So you'll notice that these green lines you see, I'm going to remove the Fibonacci levels just so we can only look at that specific indicator. And then we can add the Fibonacci levels afterwards. So basically what this does is it's going to show you the support and resistance line. So already there we had a bounce off the support of the shadow trading indicator. So not only is it showing you the momentum line, it's showing you the price moving up and down. Remember, these support and resistance lines also move with the price. So you're going to have the price above, where you're going to have the resistance line, and then below are the support lines. So again, watching this in real time and looking at the signals generating, that is what you're going to be looking at. Watching that price doing what it's doing. So right now it's in the resistance area. So this is where you'll start looking for the momentum line to swing direction. So right now we got to wait for that. Now this is also good to look at on a 5-minute chart. So if you're looking at even a 15-minute chart is pretty awesome to look at. A 5-minute chart can sometimes be very busy. So let's pop onto a 15 and look at that. Okay, so this is what this price did today. So basically first of all, we go back to Friday. So Friday AM, which was 8 o'clock. This was where we got the real powerful signal at 9 AM from the shadow trading. So basically, the price was in the support area over here. You had a lot of divergences, and you had this momentum line really start, swinging up and deviating from price. Then what happened is the price continued up and went into the resistance area. So if you look at that move, just this one move from the strong support, and you trade it all the way to the resistance area, that was a 550 tick move in that, just for that one. And notice how the momentum line is above price. So that's when you stay in a trade. And what happened is the price hit that resistance line and still continued up. We had a bar coloring change. So as soon as the price goes to +8 and above, it's going to show like this tomato color. And when it goes to +10, it's going to go this very strong maroon color. So that's just showing a very significantly overbought situation at that specific moment in the momentum line. So the momentum line is going to tell you the absolute strength of that move. And then it's going to be dropping again, which is what it did. Back within that support area, now this momentum line is really dropping. So that was another incredible time to decide now to sell. Now notice that previously the price was in that support area or that resistance area back then, okay? But notice how those support areas adjust according to where price is. So that's why it's always going to give you that signal at that time when it is valid. So that was the current area of that resistance. And then what happened is the price actually flew right down, and it continued if you look at the entire time. So this happened from, what is this? From 1:45 AM today, okay? So from 1:45 AM today, the shadow trading actually gave a signal on this 15-minute chart that it was definitely time to be in a short position. So that's exactly what happened in real time. Notice that momentum line moving. So that's telling us short momentum line is way below price. And what it did is it came all the way where the price is right now in that support area, and that's 1,043 ticks. So, you know, you if you can catch a move like that, you know, you basically can be, you know, you don't have to do too much after that. You could literally, that could be, I mean, some people, 1,000 ticks might be their monthly goal to have, you know, so you could have that, you could have one move like that, basically accomplish your entire goal. And that also was with a relatively low risk type of a situation. So if you're looking at the momentum line, you're looking at what the price is doing. Okay, you're getting a significantly overbought area over here. Okay, the momentum line is now really starting to drop considerably. You're getting gold bars. Very often it comes back up just to take out stops, but notice the distance of this momentum line from the price. And then as soon as you start getting these gold bars, you're in that trade as a short. I mean, that was like the absolute most powerful signal that the shadow trading gives us, especially with the price being so high up and having gold bars and this momentum line considerably down. So that is, you know, that is your ideal thing. Now sometimes on the session, what's happened is we've actually had the price do this, but then the momentum line changed direction and the price went up. So then we've had this momentum line do a similar thing to what it did over here, but it just happened, you know, further down, you know, say example over here. But in this case, what happened is it just really continued dropping. And it was only there very, very briefly did it have one little turnaround thing, but it's literally like a magnet, and that just sucked that price all that way down. And as you can see now, the momentum line is coming a lot closer to price. You're getting now, you know, the magenta in the momentum line is coming out, and obviously it just had a fling down. But now, right now, the momentum line is with the price. If you were in that short position, you would be out of that position right now. So obviously this is a long time that it happened. I mean, how long was this move? It was literally over 30 bars at 15 minutes. What is that? 30 times 15. Divide that by 60. That's 7.5 hours that move took place. But that entire time, even if you were looking at this chart as your longer term chart, you say, I'm only going to be looking at sell trades during this move that we're watching, or that you would have been watching, then you can switch to smaller charts and take some smaller trades in that direction, because you know with this momentum line in its position, the likelihood of this price going down is much, much higher than it going up. So that's why it's good to have a few different tabs open with different size charts, and you can look at what the price is doing in different charts. Yes, Jay, go ahead.
So since I just did my renewal, do I need to go back into, because I don't have the shadow trading indicator. So do I need to go in, remove the Ninja script, and then import again?
Yes, so you've got the shadow trading and the ultimate bars are all part of this assembly. So if you look in your OneDrive folder, you're not able to download the standard DTB package yet, because I haven't set that up for you. But the focus group assembly still has this indicator exactly like you're seeing it now. So it's got that in it. And it's also got the ultimate bands. So if you look at that, let me just bring it up. Ultimate bands focus group. Yeah, so you're going to have the shadow trading focus, the shadow trading indicator, and ultimate bands. So this too, you know, it doesn't show so well on a 15-minute chart, but that definitely presents beautifully on the tick charts. So let me just switch this over. If I go and duplicate this in a new tab, and we choose like a analytical bars, let's go and look. So this is go like a larger value of the analytical bars. So we can even go a 44, 44. And again, I mean, these are numbers you can choose. There's not, you could definitely look at a few different options. And even on the 44, 44, where you had that huge divergence on top. So, I mean, let's go right back, let's go right back and even look at that signal even forming. So I'll use the bottom here. So this far is near the beginning of the chart. Okay, fine. So the momentum line's above, price is going up, price is going up, up, up. We're getting that tomato bar. We're starting to see that overbought situation. Look at the momentum line with the price. Now it's starting to drop slightly, but that is where you've got the significant drop in that momentum line, that price breaking out of that support, that resistance area, multiple divergences happening. You've even got a few arrows telling you that, you know, this is very, very likely to go down. You've got a completely overbought situation over here, and it's coloring the bars to even tell you that the price is significantly overbought. So even entering in this zone over here, even if you're entering in the middle of the zone and you're putting your stop above the arrow that you are looking at, okay, it's at least 100 tick stop. So that is what you would have in place in a situation like this. But then watching what that price is doing, momentum line below, keeping an eye on that momentum line, watching it. Now it's starting to get to the oversold area. Momentum line is a lot closer to price. If you're watching the chart right there, you probably would have been out at this stage. And definitely by the time, you know, the price is in this area now, which is where, you know, this is the support area where you've got those two green lines. But that move over there is, you know, is that size. And yes, the price did continue down even further. But even if you just took that very specific area where it re-entered into that area again, you know, but again, you can also be watching your momentum line. I mean, watching your coloring of your bars. So there's no green bars yet. You still got gold bars. So you know, that is also where you're looking at where is this price going to reverse. Now you're starting to get more green bars, a few more gold bars, but momentum lines dropping again. So that you know, this type of thing is going to present itself all the time. And right now, look at this momentum line where that is, and look how there's the final divergences over there. The price has just come around a bit, and it's floating around this area. So it hasn't showed significantly oversold over here, but it's definitely very close to where it should be. So another opportunity to be taking long positions, and then going into even a smaller chart, just for those smaller moves, you can even do that. So we can even look at a 22, which is even smaller. Similar thing there. I suppose it's a bit more noisy, but it's still giving you, I mean, it's still giving you very, very, very good signals on these arrows. I mean, even just trading these very specific arrows, looking at the price. There's one there. Let's just have a look at where that one was. So the arrow was above the support line. This was the one that was below and in the zone. So that is your next thing. You know, now the price is with the momentum line. So it's basically, you know, in there again. So there was your next. So you're still going to get these little moves like this. And this is why I'm also automating this strategy. I'm automating this indicator, should I say. So I'm going to be working on a few things with this to be automating these arrows, which arrows it enters on, the positioning of the momentum line, and the rest of it. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We also, looking at this indicator some more, we've got, 1 second. We've got a few different options here. So we've also got an ability to paint the bars from the momentum line. So looking at that, you can choose what, so look how that has changed things now. So what that is doing is it is basically painting the bars according to the momentum line changing color. And that it'll get you in the position a bit later if you've got confirmation bars. So I've got confirmation bars on there. So that means it's confirming the signal by 3 bars before it changes. Now this one, it's confirming by 1 signal, by 1 bar. And if you go and change the value of these bars, say if I put 10 over there, that's going to change everything again. And that'll give you more of a longer term approach, look at things. So like going back to the 10, it'll say, you know, your first sell opportunity was back over here. The bars are still being gold, I mean red up until down here. So a few different ways of working with this, and I've opened up this part of the indicator because that's going to be part of the automated strategy to trade the bars being red and green and so on. With this sensitivity setting, there's also, you can also adjust the sensitivity of this. So it's on an 8 at the moment. So you'll watch, if I go change this to a 20 as an example, you know, that's going to adjust those bars again there too. And all these numbers that you're looking at will be able to be optimized through the strategy analyzer. So that's why we're going to be, you know, working with that. I did this earlier. I didn't actually, it's not meant for what I'm doing here. And then you've also got these areas here. So you got the support and resistance lines. So this is where the lines are drawing on the chart. So these green lines you're seeing here and these red lines are these values over here. So if you say you only want to be alerted when the price is at 10, minus 10, which is very high up, okay, then it's only going to change the coloring of those bars and give you those alerts when that price is right up high. So you notice how that green line is over here now, that green line's over there and on top. So it's only got one line because they're both on 10. So that is how you could adjust the values of those. Now, if I go into this indicator and I change the support and resistance line and I make this like a 5 as an example, so +5 and -5, this is going to give me a lot more coloring of the bars. It's going to tell us, okay, so the price now at this level is now -5, -5. It says -5 all the way to -9.99. So that'll be the coloring. The coloring of the bars will change based on those support and resistance lines, how you color them. So it's going to start changing the coloring of those bars a lot sooner. So there's a few different ways of even trading this approach. Like you can say that you only prepared to enter a position once there's been a confirmed movement away from the 0 line of +3. So that means that you'll only enter a long position when the bars start going tomato. You're not going to enter when the bars are green and gold because there's no real direction yet. There's just, I've literally went crazy when working with this indicator to have so many different options of working with it. But let's have a look at that as an example. So the shadow trading, we've got -5. So let's say even if you make this at 3, and so -3 +3. So those support and resistance lines are drawing a lot closer to the 0 line. So that basically means that when the price goes +3, the bars will start painting tomato. When they go -3, they'll start painting cyan. Maybe a little bit close, but that's also another way of jumping into a trade once you've got that confirmed movement of price above a certain level. You just got to work with the sensitivity and perhaps even make it a little bit wider. So I wouldn't go 3. I'd probably go at least a 4 on that. Actually, a 5 is probably ideal as the lowest I would personally go. And that's going to cut out a lot less. It's going to cut out a lot of trades that are, going to be just bouncing around. Because remember, around the 0 line, there's a lot of uncertainty of who's going to take control of the price. So by doing this, you're also giving yourself an opportunity or more of a, you're giving yourself more of a confirmed entry. You're not getting the price right at the bottom of a move, but you're getting it after it's shown some strength. But just bear in mind that might not continue for a lot further. But definitely when you start seeing, more of that coloring bar, that that price is deep inside buyer's territory. So your chance of entering a position when the bars are predominantly tomato in this color are a lot better than if they weren't. So that obviously works with all different size bars. So you could even look at working on, I haven't looked at this specific setup on the NinjaTrader, but we can look at that. So if you go to like an 11 and a 2, we can see how that looks So there's like another look at that. Obviously, we've got a huge push up at the moment. So that's also going to give you that type of a setup, you see. So it's going to tell you now that now it's gone between 4, or that's gone into minus, basically the gold. As soon as it goes to gold, it means that the sellers now have taken control of the price. Now we're getting to the -5, you see. So this is the -5 area right now, according to the indicator. Let me just remove this ultimate bands. Okay, so looking at the indicator settings. So if you go in there, so basically what this is saying is that when the bars start painting cyan, the price is below the one brush, so that it's below -5. So between -5 and -10. When it goes above -5, so between -5, 4, 3, 2, and 0, they're basically going to be gold. But now you can see, it's between that -5 and -10 mark. And then see, but this number is also going to tell you, and it moves very quick with the NinjaTrader, so you got to be just mindful of that. But you can see the pricing of that. Because that bar touched +5, it has gone to that value. So that's how the coloring of the bars are going to paint. So yeah, have a look at that. It's something to look at. Now, I notice I still don't have any entries on my my trading chart yet, and that's because the signal has still been in a sell, basically. So no entries during this specific session, purely because the price has, initially bounced off that brick wall, and that 50% came down to the 38.2. So, I mean, obviously we know that that was the next significant level. So if I even go and remove, if I go to the indicator list and I remove some of the Fibonacci levels that we don't need to see at this stage, So we can take some of the, I'll leave the weekly on because they are extremely powerful. And we'll take off, sorry, the dailies we'll leave. The green we'll leave. We'll take off the Fibonacci, we'll leave the hourly off and the 5-minute off. So just by selecting a few of these levels, you can just neaten up your chart a little bit too. And this is where you can say, you can start looking at some manual type of entries also. So especially when you've got an optimized setting like we have, price coming down, you can even see how it's reacting around these Fibonacci levels. So notice how the price came down, bounced off the 50%, came up, bounced off the other 50%, and the brick wall came through, broke below, consolidated a little bit, went a little bit below again, came up again, retested this 50%, broke below, stayed below, came down to the 38. So these little things are tradable too. Not that I've been having much luck with them on the live sessions, but you know, I think you need to really sit and focus on this and concentrate, look at a few different charts, have your screens, you know, filled with other charts where you're getting references from all different sides and looking for those ideal entry points. So, you know, even if you're looking at this 32 chart, hoping you might get one or two entries during a session, you can still be looking at other size charts to find these entries. And then, you know, even on the NinjaTrader bars, you are going to get these arrows appear with the shadow trading. And very, very often they are going to get you in the right trade. I mean, as you can see, this arrow on top, which is it's not a repainted arrow, it appears when the bar closes. It's getting you in the moves. And obviously, if you're reacting around stronger Fibonacci levels, that is going to help you too. So you can go and load your Fibonacci levels on the NinjaTrader bar if you really like that bar. I mean, it's a very neat bar in that it shows these moves like that. So that could be something to jump on. So let's have a look at the Fibonacci levels. Take off some of these things. There was even a little bit more, yeah, took off a few more there. So here we add a 76.4 and a 38.2. So if you get a long arrow off here, it's more than likely going to be bouncing up. This is just a shadow trading indicator. We've got an entry over there from that one, a bounce off there. Momentum line is below the price, but it still could be a little scalping move. You see, so we've got a little buy arrow there, and we can watch what's happening. If you get a sell arrow appearing on top, then obviously you would close off that position. But that's, you know, these are little scalping opportunities that you can take, just looking at your Fibonacci levels indicator, looking at the price coming and testing those levels, getting an arrow off it and entering some scalping positions. And the good thing about that is you can have a very, very small stop in this type of thing. You literally can put your stop below that arrow, you know, and then trade that. You can either trade it until it breaks down one bar or to the next Fibonacci level. So whatever levels you got in place, you know, you can do that. I just exited over there, but that is how, you know, there's so many varied ways of working with the system. And, you know, even just scrolling back on a chart, you are going to notice how this indicator is going to continuously give you these arrows to tell you where that price is more likely to be going. All you got to do is just watch your momentum line to see what that is also telling you. And you can also go and change the indicator on here. So if you go to the shadow trading and you use the paint bars from that, you can also set up a situation like that where it's giving you the coloring of the bars, and then you could also choose to only be in a trade once the coloring of the bar changes. Like if you were looking for a buy over there, you'll wait for the bars to turn green first before you enter along. If you're looking to enter a sell there, you wait for the bars to go red before you enter a sell. So that's just basically like a confirmation type of a thing, to give you slightly better entries in the case of, you're not getting the bottom of a trend, and often like that you might even be at the top. But having these confirmation bars, we've got a 10 confirmation bars. It's probably a bit high on that. So changing that, it's going to change the amount of confirmation bars that are needed for that entry. So there we go. Now this momentum line, you can probably, with this type of thing here, I mean, with the NinjaTrader bars, the momentum line is very jagged. So that's why I've also added on a little feature here to say hide momentum line. So you can actually click on that button and it will hide that momentum line out of view, but it's still going to give you the coloring of the bars that you are seeing and so on. Again, that'll be part of the strategy that I've created. So again, look, we've had another perfect bounce off that 38.2. It happened again, like almost a few seconds later. So we had a sell arrow come there, we had a buy. So even if you have got your button on the buy market and you've literally got a 10 tick stop on that 38.2, you are going to get, you might be stopped out a few times, but you're going to have a lot of positions that are going to be very successful. And there, look at that 50%. So we basically had, look at that, we had the price come right to the 50%, reverse.
Yeah.
It gave you an error.
Meet me, I'll hold on.
What's that, Jay?
Sorry about that. I didn't have myself on mute. My son walked in, so no, I don't have anything.
Okay. No, that's all right. That's all right. So yeah, although this hasn't been an active trading session, we haven't had any specific entries on our crap. I went and clicked stop in the chart trader on this chart. I went and clicked close and stuff, and when you start clicking close and things on the chart trader, it basically disables your strategy. So just be mindful if you've got multiple tabs, you don't really want to be doing that. So if that happens, you just got to go and reactivate your strategy, and it will act on the next signal after you click on start. So if you want to go enter manual positions, you just got to move this to a new window, but then instead of using the close button, so you still never want to be using the close button on there. It will impact the strategy. Rather have a stop and a target in place, and then move that stop and target accordingly. Don't click close. So rather move the target or the stop for that to exit the trade instead of using the chart control panel. I don't know why they created it like that it kills everything when you click on one chart, but that's what they've done. So yeah, they must have some reason for that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, so there we go. We've got the price bouncing around. So this is the 32 bar. So even if you were watching this chart, you are watching the 32, waiting for a position to enter, and you start seeing the bar just float around a level, getting not really getting a direction, we did this, like I said, I haven't had exceptional good success with this because I probably wasn't concentrating properly. But this type of thing too, you can set your limit order to enter on the bottom of a bar and predicting the price going up, up 32 ticks, and having your stop as 32 ticks below where the price would need to go to break that that bar. So those are like little 30 tick moves. Now, when the price came up here and you did the same thing over here, you would have been stopped out over there. So, that's just what happens. Those are like your 50-50 risk reward type of trades. But now that the price has broken above the 50, I would be more interested now to put a limit order over here to be able to, do I have a, I would be more interested to have a trade enter over there and have that limit order, have that stop below that 50% where the price would need to come to break below that. So doing this, so you first of all want to put your stop in place like this is your 32 ticks. And below that bar, and then your target will be where the price would go to form a new bar, which is over there. So if you look to the right of the screen, you can see how it's basically lining up with this previous bar over here. And then this stop over here is on that bar. So maybe we should have waited one extra bar for a proper confirmation, but look at that. It's, that could be, that's a 50-50 risk reward type of a trade where the price has confirmed a breakout and then may go up. And then if you are looking at another chart, so if you're looking at another chart like this, you could say, well, I'm going to wait until I have a green bar above that 50%. So even though we've had this breakout, so like right now, if you're looking at that, we've had oh goodness, I pressed it again. You have an arrow above that 50% now. You see, so on that 50% on a smaller 11.2 Ninja Renko bar, okay, you've got that now. And now you can say, well, now because I've taken that signal, I'm going to lower my my risk. So if this goes and closes down, then I'll be happy to exit this position. So like there we had a divergence. So you could say, well, because we've had a divergence on a smaller chart, I'm going to move my stop up because there's a chance that this price is going to reverse because we've got a divergence over there. Or you can say, you know what, I'm very happy with that type of a move. So I'm going to bring my stop right up and be happy with that. And then you can just let it, you can also just let it run. So this is another thing that you can do is you can let your trade run until you see this price break down a bar. So that you could also use that as a trading stop. You can have this on another screen or even right next to this chart where you are looking at this. You're looking at your 50%. Like this, and then you've got this one right next to it, which is giving you your entries. So you can say, well, I'm going to enter on the smaller chart, but take targets on the larger chart. So, this way you've got them both on there. You're looking at your entries around strong level, and like right there, if you were in a long position now, you would immediately close because you had an arrow facing down. So in that case, you could have actually had a much larger entry on that one. It would have been a bit bigger. And look how that arrow has basically forecasted this price having a bit of a reversal. So very cool to look at a few different things. And I guess you would do this if your strategy that you've got active is not active in positions. You know, it's not in positions. It's not you know, actively entering positions. But if you had a smaller bar size, you probably would be in more positions. So, like, you know, we are running a 32 bar, but if you went and changed this, what is the time? 10:25. So if you went and changed this to even a 16 and a 16, and you ran these same settings, you know, so a half the bar size for the same period, I'll let that run on the side and to see what that's coming up as. Oh, I forgot to record this call. Oh my goodness. Damn it. I should have pressed. Anyway, that's okay. I keep forgetting to record these calls, and that's because you know, the calls that are streamed to YouTube are not clear at all. The graphics are very bad, and that's just because Zoom and YouTube don't have a good, obviously, agreement, because they're only showing it in 720p. But when I record them, it records them in high definition. But I forget to record these things, these sessions. But at least you can, I suppose you guys can still see what has been going on, you know, on this. And obviously, if you're on the Zoom call, you will have it in high definition. So in watching it live. So there we just took 2 or 3 small little scalping trades, and it was 100% success in this instance. But I think this session I just used a bit more to guide my entries. I wasn't just using one chart. So it's I always do that, though, is have a few charts giving me more confirmations of when to enter, when to exit, just so that I'm not just blindly taking chances. And that's ideally what you want to do, you know, to be serious about this. So, and even on this chart on the left there, you can have a few different bar sizes in there. So you can go and look at this chart, and you can say, well, I'm going to look at a smaller chart. I might not go NinjaTrader. I might go for a analytical bars, and even at 10:10, maybe it's a bit small, but I'll put it up anyway. You could be looking at divergences and stuff there. Sometimes it's a little bit too busy on a chart like that. I would definitely probably switch to a larger chart. Trying to see what will be better to work with. Using the Fibonacci, it's okay to work with that, because it does give you like a flowing type of a look. So you can always add that on, and then going to your indicator and choose with the shadow trading. I will just put this back to how it was. That'll give you your coloring of your bars too. You can also look at entries. So you can say, well, once the price has closed above a certain level, those fib levels, entering positions. When the tails of bars are very close to fib levels, entries. So, you know, there's a few different things that you can look at during your session. But ideally, I think the best thing to do to find your ideal entries is to optimize your data series that you want to trade mostly on. Find out where these brick walls are, because they are extremely, extremely good at predicting where price is more than likely going to bounce off and work around. And remember, we're optimizing between between those times. So that's going to be clear. Now, as a matter of interest, I optimized the 16 bar size. So half the bar size that we use on this session. Notice how the return was lower. Okay, so from 17,000, it dropped to 14,000. The trades are a bit more and the percentage is lower. So that's what happens when you kind of get a, I mean, it's not terrible. Like there, it's taken double the amount of trades. So this is 21 trades on a Monday. So it would have entered more positions had you used a smaller bar size, which is obviously the case. Like there, 22 positions on a Monday. This one entered 28 positions. That's an exceptionally high value that for a Monday, 28 trades. This is over the last month's worth of data. So this is why you can optimize different bar sizes and have a look at these settings that are coming up, seeing which ones are, you know, giving you the best results, paying attention to the drawdowns and everything too. But just looking at the trades, and because we're trading a Monday, it's good to look at that Monday value. You know, even the last value on the list was showing a 31 trades, 6,600 net profit. You know, and it's telling you the percentage. So you can have a look at a few different things. So that, look at the 38% percentage. That is higher than the average for the strategy, which is only 29%. So it's good to play around with the analyzer itself to give you the best options. So that one there was pretty awesome. So what is this percentage? 64%. So what this strategy is basically saying, that on a Monday, using a 16 bar size, over the last month, the strategy has entered 28 positions, made $8,500 with a 64% win rate. So that's why it's good to do a few different optimizations of different bar sizes and values to pick out. And even if you're just going according to the day of the week, and remember, this is only between 9 a.m. and 10:55 a.m. So it's not the whole day. You're choosing a very, very specific time of the day that you are analyzing. I don't know how to bring this up specifically. I wish there was a way just to bring up these specific trades on a chart. Other platforms can do it, but this is a little bit a little bit behind. It's a little bit primitive, unfortunately, what we're dealing with. But it's, you know, this is a good way of doing that. You can go and look at the chart and view those very specific days. Like even today, as an example, if you were looking at today's data, what is today? Monday. Even today, if you look at the trades that would have entered using this setting, so again, you could have run this optimization before this setting, and it would have actually given you this anyway. If you look at the analysis and then days, let's just see daily. So that setting, so for example, has made $2,000 on the 9 trades that it's entered. Okay, so Monday it showed, as you can see, the history of this strategy saying that Mondays are a very good day to work. So how do I get there again? Day of week. Okay, so this one is telling us that Mondays have given the best results. And then going and looking at the chart for today, had the strategy been running, it would have actually made $2,000 during the session from 9 o'clock. So the strategy was operating from 9 o'clock, but the first position would have entered from 9:30. So basically at the open, that's why I activated the strategy before the open, because generally at the open you can have some positions. But between the open and right now, these would have been the positions that the strategy would have entered without any stops or targets, just running continuously, and would be up basically $2,000. So that is how you can look at these different settings, even though the overall results of this is showing a higher drawdown, because we are even filtering it further to look at the specific day of the week. That what you can look at. So that's why it's good to just review different bar sizes, and you'll pick up little gems like this where it's going to show you, wow, we've got a good return for this specific day of the week with generally a high percentage rate. Let's try that setting ahead for the day. Now remember, this would have said 6,000 net profit because it's had 2,000 today. So before the session, this would have said 6,000. But even that, I mean, some of these settings are not even that as high as that one. So looking at these settings over here, at the chart, even this setting on top here has showed amazing results for today. The second one, again, third one, the one we just looked at, this one, not so much. So this is the 1036. So if you go and look at the analysis for this one, for 1036, look at the results for Monday, saying 2,900. Again, you can go look at a few different charts. So this one is showing 4,600. So you go look at the chart. And obviously, this one's had obviously a good result today. But if you go and look back at every other Monday, you can see what that strategy did on a Monday. You might just have to get a pen and paper and write down some dates and then actually go and look at those specifically on your chart. So you can go use the analyzer itself in the chart to go look at those trades, or you can load this up on a trading chart and go and look at it like that too. Always remember though that if you are going to be applying a template like this to a trading chart, to match that trading chart with the data that you got here. So have a trading chart where the date starts the 22nd of August. So it must be a custom range. Actually, let's just do one very quickly. I'll just do one very quickly, and we'll use this one here because let's just do that. So let's say we want to go and review this chart. This result. We want to go review all the Mondays. So we'll click on this one here and we'll go template and we'll go save. And we'll call this NQ16_16 optimization. I've got quite a few things, so I'm just going to call it 000 NQ. So this is, you're just looking at that. Okay. So you're looking at the 1616 bar optimization, and I've saved that specific one. So what I can do now is I can go to a chart. I can go open up a new chart, or I can use one of these. Well, look at this. Look at this signal on the 44 bar. Remember earlier the price was in this zone and we were looking at it. Look at that momentum lines dropping slightly, but now starting to show upwards, sucking that price up. Beautiful. That's 4A12. That's 200 ticks worth of move just over there in that price. Okay, so let's have a look at duplicate in new window. Let's go load up that 1616 bar. So if I go over here and I go 16 and 16. Now this is where we've got to match up the optimizer. So we're going to current range and we're going to select the 22nd of August to today. We had break at end of day on that chart, so we'll do the same. I will go and remove these indicators that we are using just to have it nice and clear. Now I can go to my strategy like this, and I can go, I can load up the strategy and I can say template, load, and I'm going to bring up that one I just created now. Okay. Where is it? Hang on, did I use the right strategy? Let me just check. I just got to check something. Yeah, where's my optimization? Oh, I used the analytical strategy 1. Okay, so I just use a different strategy. There's not going to be different names for these. Everyone's going to be on analytical strategy 1 within the next few days anyway. So basically analytical strategy 1, and I'm going to go load that template. Template load, I called it 00016 optimization. And all I'm going to go do now is I'll use the Sim 101, enable, apply, and okay, bam. Okay, so what this is basically saying is that these are the results for that. So if I go strategy, performance, real time, and historical, this should match the analyzer, the strategy analyzer. So if you go look at this, it's not going to show Mondays though. How do I, oh God, does it work? Day of week. Oh, it does. Huh. Monday, there's Monday. Okay, there we go. So that's showing the same result as the strategy analyzer. So now you can go and all you got to do is make a note of all the Mondays. There were 27 trades entered on the Mondays for the last month. So you got to go look at your clock on your computer and work out Monday. So we've got 20, 13, 6, and 30. So 20, 13, 6, and 30. To see the dates clearly, you can just go to your properties over here. So right click on the chart, go properties, and show the time. Where the hell is the times thing? Show the time. I'm sure it was over here. Properties. Show date range. I'm looking for show date range. Am I missing something here? Chart trader. Maybe I should click over here instead. So properties. Date range. There we go. So showing the date range is going to show you on the top of the screen the dates of the chart that you're looking at. So we're looking at 20, 13, 6, and 30. So you can go now and scroll back to 20. That's 22, 21, 20. Now we're looking at the 9 a.m. run, which is this one over here. Bam. So here's the last Monday that the strategy had. So this is the very last strategy, the last Monday, the 20th of September. This is what the strategy did on that day. And look at that. There were some exceptionally beautiful trades, a few little losing positions, but otherwise exceptionally good trades on that Monday. Up until 10:55, when that strategy closed off. So there, it exited over there. That's 10:55 a.m. where it's programmed to go. So now you can go back to the 13th, because that was the other one, right? 17, 16, 15, 14, and then 13, 9 a.m. Okay, that is right. Hey, yeah. And then you can see, okay, so what did the strategy do at 9 a.m.? So there we go. The first strategy that it took was 9.40 because the price broke below the brick wall. And then entered these positions. So these were the positions entered by that strategy on that day. Now look at, it's interesting that it entered a sell position, but because there was no reversal signal over here, it actually entered and exited over there. Okay, so that's the 13th. Now you can go back even further to the previous Monday, which was the 6th. Now you don't have to go and do this, but if you're analyzing over larger data periods, you can certainly do that. 6. What happened on the 6th? Oh, that's not the 6th. Am I looking at the 6th? Okay, so the 6th of January, there wasn't much action. I don't know, maybe there was a holiday. It was a holiday, wasn't it? Not 6th January, the 6th of September. No, it shouldn't have been. Yeah, anyway, so you get the idea with that anyway, how to run with that. So you can look at a few different options when working with the analyzer, and that's gonna get you in. So like obviously today the 16 bar, if you were doing that optimization and you saw those results, you would have been running that, and you would have actually been in a $2,000 day, and you would still be in another position that is up 175 ticks, because that's the last entry of the strategy that's currently running and will exit at 10:45. So if I go to data series and I just activate the text and the marker, that's going to show you there's the last buy position. So that was a beautiful day for this specific setting. Now again, I was running the 32.32, which didn't actually enter any positions today itself, but that's because it is a strategy that was designed to take fewer trades, literally between 1 or 2 trades a day. And looking at that analyzer, the setting that I chose, which was 8, which setting did I choose? Goodness. Got to make sure I'm on the right one again. Sorry, I'm not quite sure which setting I had running on my chart. I can find it, but it's where is that chart? Let me just find it quickly again. No, it wasn't this one. It was this one over here. So 423 on that 32. So yeah, it's come back to that 50%. So look how this optimized result gave you that this is a sell, and the only time this was going to change over was when this price broke through the brick wall. So basically it broke over that 50% and just continued running all the way up to the next 50%. And now it's bouncing off that 50%. So we took a position earlier, but we just took a little scalping position from basically from here to here, okay, of 39 ticks. But this actually continued running all the way to the next Fibonacci level, at least, which was another 87 ticks. So it all depends what your goals are, what you are targeting. And if it means that you want to increase your size of your NinjaTrader bar, that's also something that you can look at doing. So yeah, there we've had a few variances there, the price breaking above the 50. So this is where we basically entered that position earlier on the confirmation of that price breaking over that 50. But what it basically did is it ran all the way to the next 50%. So looking at, I don't know which value would have actually showed a cleaner run, but there we go. This even showed a lower breakdown. So looking at this one earlier, where it showed a previous sell over there, bounced off the 38.2, then went up, went all the way through, and the first time it had a bit of a hiccup was at the 50%. So all different indicators, all different size bars to look at while using the shadow trading. They work on all different bars. So there is using the standard indicator with support and resistance. So looking at that, they don't show as well on the NinjaTrader bars, the support and resistance lines. They're more designed for the DTB bars. So don't pay too much attention to the support and resistance on the Ninja Renko. They're a little bit, because these bars have got fake or false openings, it just completely throws everything off, including the momentum line of the shadow trading. So that's why I've also just used I've put the option there to hide that momentum line. So it'll just show you basically the values of the buyers and the sellers, who's in control of price. Cool. It's 10:50. I've got no positions running on the automated strategy, so there's no use in even summing that up. I've just got the 16-16 running over here, which I only activated now, as you saw. But that initial setting that I had, nothing was on there. And I don't know where that is. Ah, it's this one. So again, just working off those Fibonacci levels. So no trade on this strategy today because it entered while the price was not actually, there was no other signal since that position happened. So unlike the other days where we had a few more signals present, today it was literally in that one zone below the price. But nevertheless, still had some good little manual trades around that. Cool. I think I'll end it there. Is there anything else you guys wanted me to cover on this? Anything that's come up for you?
No, not on my side, Jason. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. I hope you picked up something else that would have helped you with your trading arsenal.
Always, yeah.
Good stuff.
Hey, Jason,
Okay.
just as a heads up, I worked on
Yes.
an 818 bar and that worked absolutely fantastic.
818, eh?
Yeah.
818.
I didn't want to interrupt you, busy having a chat, but 818 from about, I've got to go back in my chart, from about 9:52 a.m. New York time to about 10:02, 10:05. It was up about $1,000 in 11 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So yeah, that's
818, and just FYI, during the Asian session today, I ran an 814 bar, and that was absolute killer. I'm playing around with different metric bars, but they look a bit weird, but work absolutely fantastic.
Perfect.
All right.
And that's the cool thing. You know, that's the amazing thing about the strategy analyzer, is you've got such a free range of optimizing the data series. So for those guys who are listening, you've got the option over here to click on optimize data series. Okay. Say you want to, like you said a 818. So if you want to optimize the baseline within ticks, which was the 18, but you can say, you know, you want to optimize a value between 8 and I don't know, 24, any value that you want. Sorry, wrong button. 8 and 24 in increments of 8. And obviously that's going to give you results for 8, 18, 16, 18, 24, 18. So it's going to give you all these results in that range, and then optimizing that. Yes, you're going to have it run, taking a bit longer to run, but it's going to give you the ability to optimize all different bar sizes. And the great thing too is you don't have to go and mess around with slippage. With the analytical bars, all you have to have is 3 tick slippage, and that will take into consideration all the movement and slippage that the price will enter on a live chart. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Stuart. That's really cool.
That was Paul, not Stu.
Sorry, Paul.
That's all right.
Oh, let's try that.
All you damn South Africans sound the same, man.
Exactly.
Oh goodness.
Stu's an honorary. He's an honorary Yaki.
No, I say, by a lacquer.
Indeed.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for being on the call. I'll end it there. Have a good one. We'll do another one tomorrow night, and perhaps tomorrow we will. Maybe tomorrow I'll run a 32-32 a bar again, but then also a 16-16 on a different chart on a different account. That might be a good idea. Let's do that.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Okay,
Jesse.
guys. Chat to you
Thanks,
then.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Cheers then.
Bye-bye
Bye.
all.